It's a new year, and we're kicking it off with one of the most January movies ever. M3GAN is a film that has been advertised for months, and if you have been in the theaters at all in the past couple of months, chances are you have seen this trailer. They have tried so hard to make it iconic, trendy, and honestly, it's working. The internet hype for this film was real. The Rotten Tomatoes score is off the chart for a film like this. It's killing it at the box office. But I didn't really like it that much. The plot on IMDb reads, a robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own. Now, going into this review, I had to preface that I completely understand what this movie is. This is a January dump. It's meant to just make a lot of money because it was made for about 12 million, I think, and it made like 30 million opening weekend. I get it. It's not supposed to be this high-level horror. It's supposed to be just fun, campy, all these things, but I still have to critique it from my experience that I didn't enjoy it all that much. Honestly, my biggest issue with it is that I wanted it to pick a side, be one thing or the other, because honestly, it wasn't all that camp. Sure, it had moments, and the concept I think alone is creative and fun, but outside of that, it's not camp enough. It's kind of this watered-down PG-13 movie of a concept that we have seen before, whether it be Chucky or that weird Miley Cyrus episode of Black Mirror. Honestly, the message of this film, too, is also very shallow, in my opinion, as it's just, well, technology is bad, a concept that we have also seen many times in Black Mirror and other media since. And so while it's not really camp enough for me, it's also not doing anything interesting enough to get me excited. It wants to have this deep message about AI and technology and parenting and all these things, and honestly, that theme also is very shallow. This film feels like it was written by no one who actually understands tech or AI, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually written by AI itself. The dilemma that this film offers, that is technology good or bad, is very like early 2000s, and we've come a long way since that, so I kind of wanted it to say something a little bit more interesting. So generic premise aside, with a pretty shallow message and not camp at all, this film does have its fun moments, but I think my other issue is that most of those moments I already saw in the trailer, which is maybe my own fault for seeing this trailer so many times. I'm sure if you watch the dance sequence of her in the hallway for the first time in theater, that was a blast. And it was a blast the first time I saw it in theaters 3 months ago. But unfortunately, all the best sequences in this film are already in the trailer, and it really feels like they used everything they had just to advertise for this film and left no surprises. There's a lot of build-up when we actually get to see the climax of what M3GAN is capable of, and that build-up really just isn't that interesting. I will say Allison Williams and the girl who plays the little girl, Katie, in the film, they both do a good job, and I really like the story between them and M3GAN. But when you add everyone else, all those extra storylines, they are just so bad. I don't care about the tech partners. I don't care about the tech CEO. I don't care about this therapist. I honestly don't even care about the girl's dead parents. All of it just seems really forced to get to a point that just is something that you could have seen a mile away. I think this film could have really benefited from being a more contained story that didn't involve a lot of those things. Have this just be about a doll that comes home with a girl and them having to survive this doll. The second you add all this extra commentary, it forces me to think through that lens, and I'm okay not thinking like that. You don't have to be this high-level horror movie that is saying all these interesting things. You can just be camp. But when you kind of sway left and right and don't really pick a lane, you're stuck in this middle ground where it's honestly just kind of a low-level horror movie. Which, again, I will clarify, is perfectly fine for being released in January. Blumhouse knows what they're doing with this release, and I do think a lot of people are going to genuinely enjoy this film. For the moments that I did enjoy them. And I actually hope they make more films in this franchise because I want to see what they're capable of with a little better writing. Nevertheless, M3GAN is an icon. They definitely designed a lot of these sequences just to become trends on TikTok or Twitter or wherever else, and it is working because a lot of people are talking about this film. So that's M3GAN. Have you seen it? What do you think? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you next time.